Love being here around all the Cougs, 4th year doing this event, and it's always fun to raise money for the student athletes. So speaking of the student athletes, I'm really looking forward to this year's team. I mean, first and foremost, you're coming off 11 wins. You had a chance to have an undefeated season, obviously, if a couple different things go your way. So why am I excited? Well, the core nucleus of the stuff that forces teams and allows teams to elevate is still there, which is the heartbeat of this program. So they just finished that in the midnight maneuvers. And to me, I learned this from Coach Carroll, the number one thing to do in the offseason, specifically spring ball, is to recapture your competitive edge. And I think that's been the secret sauce to this team. They walked off the bus and a couple guys, Andre Dillard and company, looked the part, but majority of them don't. You look at that defensive line last year across the board, whether guys that were just not as athletic as other guys or maybe not as large as other guys, but made plays. I'm talking about Willie Taylor and company coming off the edge. So I'm really looking forward to watching this team continue to grow and evolve, and it's a real conversation for them being a contender in the North. Last year took everybody, including me, by surprise. Of course, Gardner Minshew took everybody by surprise, and it'll be interesting to see what happens this year. What quarterback will it be? So we know a few things. One, the offense, it should be easily digestible. The standard is high, but we've seen what guys can do ever since Mike Leach came here, but I think back in 2012 with Connor Halliday, who I got to see earlier tonight. I mean, guys can rip within this system. So who is it going to be? Clearly, a lot of discussion around the transfer. Can't wait to watch Gage play. His numbers are extremely impressive, really productive. The number one thing for Mike Leach in this system is you got to get the ball out on time and be accurate. He's shown to prove that he can do that. Have the other guys shown they can prove to do that? Only on their film in high school, because we haven't seen them do it in college. I'm most excited this spring, of course, to watch Gage. Then, of course, my guy Cam Cooper. I said it on signing day. I thought he would break all the records here in the offense. I think he's that type of a pure passer. The lefty out of Utah broke every record in that state. So not sure what the deal is. Haven't been able to go to spring practice last year. I don't know if I'll be able to get there again this year, but I'd be most excited to watch him because he should crush it. He should know this system like the back of his hand. So I look to watch and see those two guys compete to battle it out. And then, of course, the growth of Max Borghi. There's a reason he does the chest pump, and he reminds you of McCaffrey because his game is very similar to his. And now in the weight room, he should be one of the stronger, more explosive players in this conference. And then I think with Mike Leach, he got an extension here till 2023. I think for Coug fans and fans around the country that are curious, is he going to leave? To me, it's somebody who's really comfortable here, settled in, what they dealt with last year with Tyler Helinski, obviously, and then all the coaching changes. This program's on really solid ground right now, so cannot wait to see how this thing works out. And of course, hopefully it's a great game in the Apple Cup, and that potential will decide the North.